So what's up, y'all? My name's Elias, which means Yahweh is God. Actually, when you look it up on Google, it says Jehovah is God, but I like the name Yahweh better. YHWH. So I'm just make this video real quick. I know y'all don't like to sit watching long videos or nothing, but I'm just gonna share my testimony with y'all real quick on how I gave my life to Christ. You feel me? My testimony for that. So let me give you a quick background real quick. As a little kid, I used to get beat by my dad. My mom wouldn't do nothing. My siblings wouldn't do nothing. My other siblings wouldn't get beat as much. I mean, I have a little brother. That's the baby, you know. Babies always get favored over the rest of them. And then my other siblings had different parents, you feel me? Either a different mom or a different dad. So, like, you feel me? My sister never get beat because her mom wouldn't defend her. You feel me? It's not gonna happen. She wouldn't let it slide. She'll call CPS. My older brother, it never happened to him because my mom would defend him. He got a different dad than me. So as a little kid, you know, I get beat, and I don't mean just whip with a belt. I mean beat with a belt. Like imagine, and I'm talking about a little kid. My dad was able to hold me up with one hand, both ankles, and beat me upside down with a belt. He's done it before, okay? Tried to attempted suicide multiple times as a little kid. And I'm so little, I'm telling you, I'm so little. I knew what poison was, so I heard of lead poison, you feel me? Remember I crushed up hella lead before. Excuse my language, hella, I mean, that's something that's needs to go away, but crushed up a lot of lead before and put it in a cup, drank it. Thought I was gonna die. I thought I was just gonna go to sleep, never wake up. Never happened. You know, I was naive. I didn't know that it's not real poison like that. But I ended up getting into a criminal lifestyle. Had no remorse for people at all. I beat on them, laugh at them, all types of stuff. Like I had no remorse at all. No remorse. If I didn't know you, why would I feel bad for you? Like, I don't know you. People die every day, you know? Really didn't care about nobody. Unless you was my homie, you was my partner, we was brothers, whatever. Really didn't care about nobody. Got locked up a lot of times. I was a juvenile. But the time that I met Christ, the time that I gave my life to Christ, right, I was already sentenced. I was in juvenile hall. I was in there for 6 months already. I was already sentenced to 15 years in CYA, which is California Youth Authority. For those who don't know, it's a juvenile prison ran by the same people who run prisons, CDCR. Hey, real quick though, because I know some of y'all gonna see that and be like, 15 years? You don't even look like you old enough to have done 15 years. Look, I forgot to mention that when you charged as a juvenile, you can't do over 23, okay? It used to be 25. I was in there with people who got sentenced before that law changed. But when I got sentenced, you couldn't do over until 23. Plus, they got different categories, and you could get parole. You feel me? Depending on your category, you could go up for parole. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It just depends. But you could go up for parole. You have to go before a parole board, and they'll just like any prisoner, and they'll say, "Oh, okay, you know, we'll look at your background, all everything, hear your story, whatever you had to say, and they'll decide if they're gonna let you out early or not." And I got let out early, thanks to God. California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. So I'm waiting to go there, and there will be a volunteer who will come every other Thursday, and he'll bring cookies. So I want to come out my cell. I want some cookies. The only way you could get them, you come out your cell and get some cookies. So I go out and I listen to him, and he was talking about how it took him 17 years to forgive his dad. his dad killed himself. And he hated his dad for that. And it took him 17 years to be able to forgive his dad. And he told us how he was able to forgive his dad. He said that he asked Jesus to come into his life and help him forgive. And that's really the main thing that stuck out to me. I don't remember everything that he said, but that resonated in my mind for the next 3 days. All right? So I give my life to Christ on a Saturday. And I remember I'm in my cell. And for those who know, some of y'all don't know, but for those who don't know, I mean, when you locked up and you in a cell, they got vents, all right? So you could talk to your neighbors, people close by to you through the vents. And I mean, some facilities are different, like it's harder to hear through the vents, but some, like, you could hear really good. Like, you could be laying on your bed, they could be laying on their bed, you could have a conversation with your neighbor. So that's how it was in juvenile hall. So I'm in my cell, and that's sitting, that thought is in my mind, like, okay, Jesus, to ask Jesus to come into my life and help me, because, I hate people. Hated people. I didn't care about nobody, really. I didn't. I had a lot of hate in my heart. I would hurt people. Really didn't feel bad about it. And I was tired of living that way. I was tired of getting locked up. And mind you, just so y'all know real quick, when I would get locked up, I would read the Bible and I would pray, but I didn't want nobody to see me doing it. I didn't want nobody to see me do it. I didn't want nobody to think I'm weak. I'm on a maximum security unit, waiting to go. That's all the worst offenders in my county, waiting to go to a facility where it has all the worst juvenile offenders in my state. So that's sitting on my mind, and I'm like, okay. The thought comes to me like, okay, you could pray, just do it quietly though. You don't. Nobody needs to hear you. Ask Jesus come into your life and help you. But then the thought came to me, which was like, hold on. If you talking to God, creator of everything, who cares what anybody thinks? But none of these kids, juvenile, I mean, it wasn't kids to me at the time, but what none of these kids think, who cares what they think, okay? Like, you talking to God, straight up. Don't be ashamed to talk to God. So I decided, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if anybody hears me. And just so y'all know, Saturday morning is cleanup on my unit. So they got juvenile workers who will come by. They could spray your door down, your window down. It's like this is the width of toilet paper. They'll spray it down, wipe it down from the outside, put a rag on your handle. So when they pop your door, you can clean your room. Ooh, that's a B. But anyways, my bad, B just got me off track. Flew right on the windshield. I don't mess with them. But anyways, it flew up. Oh, we got windows down too, though. Anyways, hold on, man. I feel like I hear buzzing now. Anyways, man, I'm trying to make this quick. I forgot where I was at. Oh yeah, so I decided I'm gonna pray out loud. So I get on my knees and I have my arms on the bed, and I pray. And I pray out loud. I don't care who's hearing me. I don't care if somebody want to make fun of me for praying to God. Whatever. It's whatever. I'm talking to God. It don't matter what y'all think. So I pray, and I ask Jesus to come into my life. I told him I'm tired of how I feel about people. I'm tired. I can't stop it. I told him I need you to come into my life and help me change, because I can't do it on my own. And instantly, I'm talking about instantly at that moment, like that, I started bawling like a little baby, uncontrollably, couldn't help it, wanted to stop it, couldn't. I don't want nobody to see me crying in there. I'm in there with killers and robbers and drug dealers, and I don't want nobody to see me, kidnappers. I don't want nobody to see me crying or even hear me crying. But I was crying. I couldn't control it. So I ended up praying, continued praying, and I was in tears probably for about 30 minutes. And I used to not pray over 60 seconds to 2 minutes when I would pray before. But I honestly don't remember everything I was saying. But after that, I stood up and I was like reflecting, and instantly, I mean, it's indescribable, really. I'm trying to describe it for y'all the best I can. But I was filled with this joy. I was filled with this peace. I couldn't explain. It's really hard to explain, but it was the best feeling I've ever had in my life. And I've done ecstasy. I've done euros, cocaine, alcohol, weed, all that. Never heroin or crystal meth. I was frowned upon in my standards on how I used to live. Knock if you do that, but I mean, I've done all these other drugs. Nothing can compare to how I was feeling. Instantly, I seen things differently. All right, I seen things differently. I understood that song. I once was blind, but now I see. I understood what that meant. Now, I never understood. Like, what do you mean you was blind? Now you see. Like, what you talking about? Now, I understood now. I understood what that was talking about. My mind was opened up. It's like I seen things differently. Not like a ecstasy high differently. Colors are enhanced and all that other stuff. No, I seen things, you could say, from God's perspective. Not fully, though, because I have a whole nother testimony on my next 6 years of life after I gave myself to Christ, because this was 6 years ago. And then the date was January 11th, 2014. So after that, the Mr. G was his name. He left me this paper. He left us with the paper, the kids on the unit. And it has a bunch of worship songs on it. And I started singing the worship songs. And it was talking about how Jesus carried the cross, and how he was killed and all that. And instantly I started bawling again. And the thought finally came to me, like the realization came to me, like, wow, Jesus was a real person. He was a real human being who was perfect, did nobody wrong, didn't do nothing wrong to nobody, and was beaten for it, spit on, slapped, tortured, hung on a cross, mocked, and eventually killed. And he did nothing wrong. So that just made me start break down and crying again. And then the thought, so after I'm done singing, the thought came to me. I had this little Our Daily Bread pamphlet in my room. It has like a little daily devotional for each specific day, for the specific year, okay? And the thought came to me, God has a message for you for today. So I opened the Daily Bread. And when I opened it to January 11th, 2014, y'all go look that up and read the article. But the title was The Journey Begins Now, or something like that. Like your journey begins, or the journey begins now. And instantly, bro, I'm like, whoa, like it's crazy. Like, God, there's no doubt. Everything that I experienced that day, that's what stuck with me. Even through all the, you could say, turmoil, everything that happened in the next 6 years, which I'll make a different video for that. I'm trying to make this quick. I'm already at 13 minutes. So, yeah, and then the next day, like, I never had remorse for nobody I ever hurt. I started reflecting and thinking about what I did to people, and it made me break down again. I was crying because it hurt me, Like, how could I do that? Like, that's what was wrong with me, you know? I always thought there was something wrong with me when I was a little kid because I'm the only one who got beat, and, you know, other stuff, girl problems too as a little kid, you know, it's just, as a teenager, it's whatever. But that's just a quick little rundown of what happened and how I know Jesus is real. And you gotta humble yourself, man. You really do. You gotta humble yourself and ask Jesus to come into your life. If you gotta do it in front of people or whatever, don't think that you just gonna, oh, I'm ashamed to pray out loud, or I'm ashamed that this person might hear me, and think Jesus is gonna come into your life. Like, you ashamed of him. Well, how are you gonna come into your life? You gotta humble yourself. Go look up that word humble. That's what you gotta do. I'm serious. And I just wanted to make this video because I made a video to ex-Christians out there. Because I'll be on Instagram and I look and I'll be talking to people. But I seen this atheist talking about, oh, I love this community, and all types of other people. Oh, I'm an ex-Christian too, brother. I love this community and all this stuff. And I just had to make a video to them, let them know they're not really Christian. They wasn't. It was never really Christian. So if you want to check that out, go check it out. But I want to make this video about my testimony because I did leave some things out. Like the joy thing, I left that out accidentally. But yeah, like, God knows what he got me through. People who know me know what he got me through. They know the difference. They see the difference. All that. God's spirit convicts me to this day of when I mess up or when I do wrong. But I fell victim before to the devil's wiles. He's very cunning, and he does use scripture against you. But I feel like I'm going to have to make another video to all my Christians out there who may be going through the same things that I have went through. But yeah, I think that's the day that I gave my life to Christ, and I'm forever going to remember that day. I'm forever going to remember that experience, the date, down to the exact day, a Thursday. I mean, not a Thursday. Thursday is when I heard from a Saturday that I gave my life to Christ. Now, that's called planting seeds. What that dude did, he planted a seed in my head. And I'm sure I'm going to get some slack. Of course, it always comes. People going to say all types of stuff, try to downgrade it, make it seem like it's something else. But you never going to know unless you humble yourself and give your life to Christ. Like, seriously, ask Jesus to come into your life and help you change. I don't care if you're a Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, a killer, whatever you are. Jesus will come into your life and change you. If you're homosexual, whatever you are, you got to humble yourself, though. I think that's the main thing. Humble yourself and be sorry for, want to be able to change. You want to be able to change. Don't just think you could test God after hearing my testimony. Like, oh, yeah, okay, we'll see if this works. Because God searches the hearts of man. He does. And he knows when you're trying to test him. Like, I used to pray as a little kid, oh, God, if you real, draw something. I mean, I'm in my room, draw something. It's just me. I mean, just show it to me, God don't work that way, bro. He really don't. But yeah, that's my quick testimony. I mean, my testimony's forever going to go on. I actually have a lot more to say, but that's just how how Christ met me. It's a two-way thing, okay? Because God, he's always there knocking at the door. He's just waiting on you to open up. I finally opened up and let him in. So I encourage you, open up, let him in, man. He'll really change your life. Taste and see. I'm serious, taste and see. Now, a lot of people born Christian, they think they're born Christian, call themselves Christian, not really Christian. Go check out that video, man. The other one, if you wanna see that. I made a quick video about that. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I should share that real quick. Hopefully I didn't leave nothing out, because I just spent 18, 19 minutes making this video, and I'm not one to edit videos and really do all that extra stuff, trying to make it look all fancy and nice. And I'm not good with stuff like that, man. I don't have a creative mind like that. But yeah, I got a bunch of stuff that I need to share and get out there. So be on the lookout for that. God bless y'all. I really hope some of y'all come out y'all comfort zone and just taste and see, bro. You gonna see, I'm telling you. And if you look at Christian testimonies, you'll see that there's something that lines up, something that sounds similar in every Christian testimony. Now, when you look at other religions' testimonies, Christianity is not a religion, it's a kingdom, just so you know. When you look at religious testimonies, they like somebody converted to Muslim. They're like, oh, it makes the most sense to me. You know, that's why I became Muslim. Or they never had an experience with God. God came into my life, man. Straight up. But I'm at 20 minutes now. I wanted to make it like a 5-minute video, but I guess, you know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, I love y'all. Drop some comments if you need prayer for anything, because prayer is very powerful. When you look in the book of Acts, when Peter got locked up by King Herod, it says, but constant prayer was sent to God for him by the church. And the church is us, the body of Christ. So if you need prayer, let me know. I'll for sure keep you in my prayers. I'll pray for you. Yeah, God bless y'all.